this segues us nicely into our next topic, guys. This is from CNN. We don't talk about CNN a lot here on this channel, but the worst may be over for home buyers. I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. I mean, it's a catchy headline. Caught my attention relative to what else we're talking about.
So, I think they're just like, here, stick that on the article. Let's see if.
So we got section 1. Is it a buyer's market? We got section 2. There are millions of people that are mortgage ready, and then section 3. The worst may be over for home buyers. I don't know. I mean, without going into the details, what do you guys think? Is the worst over? Is the worst over for home buyers? Yes or no?
No, I just think the worst isn't. I don't think the worst is over, right? I think it's like they're trying to make it see like I think like it would have been better said like there's light at the end of the tunnel.
Okay, that's great,
right? Because it's not, guys. It's like there's still a lot of market conditions that could still affect all of this. You know what's funny? I when I'm talking with our clients and they're saying like, oh yeah, I already know that when the next president comes in, you know, the new one, they're going to reduce the rate.
But they don't.
People, like the president is not going to lower the interest rate, okay?
That's not a foregone conclusion.
This is...
it is, Andy. It is.
Oh, but apparently, yeah. I stand corrected.
Depending who you ask.
Right? Like, it's just... it's just like, okay.
I think for me, the way that I look at it, and I know I'm in agreement with you. I just feel that we took the elevator up and we're now taking it down. There's going to be the stairs that we take down, and it's going to take
there you go.
A substantial amount of time to get us down to where we need to be. Because if we, take the elevator down, we're going to take it right back up. So it's really difficult for the rates to just tank. That's going to help affordability get better, but at the same time, doing that will just put us in a bigger hole, right? Exactly. If not right back to where we're at.
If we reduce the rates too quick, then we're going to have deflation.
And it sucks because
that's not a good thing.
Us speaking that we thrive off of this, and this is what feeds our business. Yeah. We know that it's not healthy for the overall market to do it at a blink of an eye, because it's just going to cause more problems, and then we really don't know what would happen.
We're living in the middle of those wild swings. We're for the years that were plentiful a couple of years ago, we were living in the middle of the wild swing of rates going all the way back to 0 to 0.25%. On that range for a while, we refinanced half the planet, and then they got ratcheted back up very quickly starting in March of 22, and now we find ourselves where we're talking about is the light at the end of the tunnel, and is the worst over for home buyers.
Interest rates are still higher than last year. They're still higher than last 6 months.
Yeah,
we're still not there.
Yeah, I know.
But here's, I guess, the thing I still maybe am having a hard time digesting when we read some of these articles is they talk about like home price acceleration slowing, like it's a good thing, but the people that are chasing it are still just chasing it. So, a show or two ago, I was talking about how, if rates come down and people can save on their monthly payments relative to credit card rates and car rates and things like that, like that's fine. But if you're underwater $1,000 a month and now you're only underwater $750 a month, you're still underwater. It's just by a little bit less. And so when we read articles like this, I understand the kind of optimism and the hopium, but trying to sell the idea that home price appreciation is slowing is a nice way of painting that if you're chasing it, you might just have to be chasing it a little less. It's not running out ahead of you as fast.
Yeah.
Right.
But you're still chasing it.
Yeah. I like how the article, right, the worst may be over for home buyers. And then they put here in a recent report for real estate marketplace, Zillow found that nearly 1 in 4 home sellers offer price cuts in June. That's the highest level for that month since 2018.
Yep.
Come on. Is that why we're saying these are happening because people are putting their home prices too high right off the bat?
It might be true, but I think I'm just being critical of the article. I think they're cherry picking that one just a little bit.
Yeah.
But no, because I still see it like, one of my partners has a listing, right? And they went up for 1.8. Then the other house down the street, 1,000 square foot bigger, an extra room and an extra bathroom, went up for 2.1. But just because they're in the same street, both very nice houses, both very luxurious homes.
Yeah,
it must be.
The seller on the 1.8 is like, well, my house is 2.1 if that house is up for 2.1. And now his mentality is that I'm only going to accept offers that come up to that range. So we go back to that again, that it's a lot of sellers thinking that they could list at prices from years ago because that's the last time that they actually were, somewhat interested in the market. And now when they come into the market and the realtor or the person that's guiding that is telling them, hey, this is how it is. They're like, no, that's not how it is. And the realtor, of course, is not going to go against their their client. So
Their bread and butter.
Exactly. So we're starting to see that, okay, let's list it up for what you think it is, and let's see what the market says. And I think that's, exactly what needs to happen. You're going to put it up on the market, and that's where we start seeing price reduction. The market doesn't like it. They're going to tell you what the house is going to be sold for.
And some of that is actually either echoed or being led by some of what NAR is saying here. Their chief economist, Lawrence Yun, was quoted as saying, we're seeing a slow shift from a seller's market to a buyer's market. Now, that quote is kind of treading lightly because it's not like full-blown buyer's market, but he's also saying that there's a slow shift. So I think he's picked his words pretty carefully there. But it would indicate that there has been a shift towards, I'll say, neutralization in some areas where the rampant increase of price has stopped and it's like kind of leveled off. And then you see these months where there's some house price cuts, but these price cuts are not by 5% of the list price.
Yeah,
that's more of a massive haircut. We had a friend of ours who sold their house a couple weeks ago, and they did a price cut, but in terms of a credit. So by virtue of changing their net proceeds, the price was the same, which doesn't sound like a cut, but it was a cut to their proceeds.
Yeah.
So they had to do some roof repair. Okay, so on an $860,000 home, they did $5,000 of roof repair. That's not even 1% of the total value. So take that into mind when you read these kinds of things. There's
exactly,
nuance.
Andy. That's actually you're absolutely right. It's very true.
Nuance in those things. So look, it's great that home price appreciation is slowing. We still have an affordability issue. We're not out of that. I don't agree that the worst is over for home buyers. Not that there's more pain to come. That's like super punishing, but it's just not become easier on the general spending every month either.
Yeah.
Absolutely, 100%. Affordability still at its worst ever.
Yep.
Right. And so we just got to wait till things come down. Interest rates start coming down. I think we'll start seeing, with more inventory, we'll start seeing a little more, activity, et cetera.
All right. Agree with you.